Today's lesson is think, plan, and write. Writers, today is our first lesson of writing. So today I want to teach you when real authors go to write a book, they don't start by writing. No way. They start by storytelling. They often touch the pages of a blank book and tell how the story might go, telling it bit by bit, page by page. They tell it a bunch of times, and when the story sounds pretty good, they sketch it out across the pages and then they write. Hi, writers. Today I thought we could start by writing a book, and then you can begin to get ready to write your own book. You'll write a whole book today. To begin writing, we'll go through a few steps. Then later, you can go through the same steps, only thinking about your own story. Let me start by thinking about a time when I had a problem in class. There was one time a couple of years ago when we had a power outage in the classroom and all the lights went out. That was a while ago though, so I'm not sure I can remember all the details. Oh, there was one time last year when Mrs. Kennedy came in during my group time and shushed us for being loud. I'm going to write it like a pro. To write a true story, we first have to think of something that we did, something that happened to us, perhaps a time when we faced trouble. Okay, so I thought about a time when Mrs. Kennedy shushed my group. Next, we need to tell what happened, touching the pages of a blank book and telling the story bit by bit, page by page. Can you help me with the story? So let's all pretend that we have our book in our hands, and we're going to say what happened on each page. Let's start together. Yesterday, we were all reading quietly. It was so quiet, you could hear pages turn. Turn the page. Then Mrs. Kennedy told us we were too loud. You know what? That seems like an awfully fast story. I'm going to try and remember what happened exactly and tell the story in tiny steps. Let me go back to page 1. Yesterday, we were all reading quietly. It was so quiet, you could hear pages turn. We heard a knock at the door. No one said anything. Then the door opened, and it was Mrs. Kennedy. She told us we were being too loud. She told us her students were trying to concentrate. She looked very, very mad. Jasmine told Mrs. Kennedy that we had just been reading quietly. Mrs. Kennedy looked around the room, and then she apologized. Now that we have touched and told the story, what do we do next? Sketching should be super fast. It helps to think back to the time and add in really important details. As you sketch, you will remember even more details you want to add. Sometimes it helps to use labels. Try it. Writers, do you see how we didn't just start writing right away? To get ready to write, we touched each page and told the story, and then we sketched each page. Only after that are we ready to write the words. Say it with me. Writers touch and tell, sketch, then write. Writers touch and tell, sketch, then write. Writers, in a minute, you're going to write your own true stories. You'll write a whole story today, and you might even start a second story too. Follow the chart. Let's start. Think about something that happened to you. Hint. In stories, characters encounter trouble. Think of a time you had trouble, a time when things were hard. Maybe you just moved here and didn't know who to sit with at lunch. Maybe someone teased you. Maybe you were worried about something. Or you could try thinking about a time you were scared something bad might happen. Picture where you were exactly and what you said and did. As soon as you've got a story idea, head off to a quiet place and start doing what the pros do. They touch and tell, Then they sketch and write. Off you go!